Okay, good to see everybody. Injury front, Mac Wilson is day-to-day with a shoulder injury. I know you guys saw the news on Steven Carlson. He'll be out for the season. So, really feel for Steve, important part of this team, and he's going to rehab, I know, and come back even stronger. We'll get some guys back today off the injury list, back out on the field, and looking forward to a good couple practices here, and then get the Giants in here Thursday and Friday. And with that, I'll take any questions. Before that, I'm sorry, I apologize. Condolences to the Shafrath family. An Ohio man, Ohio State, Cleveland Brown, a legend. I was not fortunate enough to meet him, but again, condolences to his family. And with that, I'll take any questions.
Kevin, what's your plan for Odell this week?
Ramping him up appropriately is what we've been doing the whole time. So he'll be out there today and get some good work.
Do you see him participating in the joint practices at all?
We'll kind of take things day by day.
Who do you think are getting back today? Will Miles be out there?
I think Grant, Ronnie, Anthony Schwartz. So, and with everybody, we're just trying to make sure that we're smart. As you know, the guys that maybe aren't practicing are getting a ton of work inside. So we're just going to make sure that we're smart about all these guys.
With Mac, did you dodge something significant there? Is this not a big deal?
I'd say all those injuries are big deals. But yeah, I think we dodged any long term. He's gonna work hard, and hopefully we see him sooner than later.
Do you have Jadeveon back today?
We'll rest Jadeveon.
It's been a week now. Is there something specific bothering him?
With all these guys, they have things that are bothering them, and we're working through it.
And how about Denzel Ward? He's been this would be like 10 days.
Yeah.
Is he still sore?
He's working really hard. Just was running after this, so we're getting close.
Is the goal for those guys to be available for the Giants practices?
Tony, honestly, you'd love to have all those guys available today, but just want to be smart about it. So specifically to those Giants practices, we'll see when they're ready. They're ready.
Does how you decide who plays Sunday, is that going to be dictated all by what happens Thursday and Friday, or are you going to determine that ahead of time?
We'll wait until we get through Thursday and Friday to make the determinations.
Do you think your starters need to play in any of the preseason? Well, you only have 2 left. But do they need to play in one of these 2 games?
I think, Jeff, like we talked about, we'll make determinations based on every individual player as we get going in these next couple games. But that's something that is ongoing conversations.
What's the contingency, heaven forbid, if it rains Thursday and Friday?
Tony, don't say that. Don't try and speak it into existence there. We have contingency plans, but we're hoping that doesn't happen.
With go to the stadium?
That's not one of the things we've talked about, but obviously we'd love for it to be safe out here for both teams.
With some of the guys who are holding out, we ask you about them every day, but are some of these cases where if you had a game tomorrow, they'd be able to go, you're just being maybe a little overly cautious?
Yeah, I want to say we're being appropriately cautious. I just want to make sure that we're doing the right thing by each player. And as you know, Dan, we're treating each player specifically to their condition and what they need.
Any of those young defensive ends that have gotten these extra reps, if any of them caught your eye?
Yeah, Zach, I tell you, all those guys played. We got some really good reps from them. They played really hard. There were a ton of passing situations where they could rush the passer and try to disrupt the quarterback. So I wouldn't single any one guy out. I just tell you, I was really pleased with how they came off the ball and were constantly working their technique.
We talked to Davian Davis earlier. You're so deep at wide receiver. What's he going to have to do to get a spot on this team?
I think Davion has to do what every young player is doing right now. Jeff, I think they got to show up, be professional about their job, be attentive in those meeting rooms, put some great work out here together with their teammates on the field, and really that's all they can control. And I think Davion's a great example of a young player who's just going to control the things that he can control.
What's your message ahead of these Giants practices to your guys about finding that balance between intensity and maybe going too far?
I've talked about it with a few of the guys. I'll talk with the entire team about it as we get closer to it. Really, Scott, it's not any different than when we're out here today and how we've been out here. We get some really good work in, and we take care of each other, and it's because we respect each other. So it's no different when the Giants come in here. They're our guests, and we want to make sure that we work hard and we compete against each other, but we're always going to be taking care of each other and making sure that it's a safe, controlled environment.
I mean, when you look around the league, it feels like there's fights when these things happen. Like, does that seem inevitable to you that there's going to be guys going at it?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's inevitable. I think it's, incumbent upon both teams and the veterans on those teams to make sure that they understand that it's a work trip. We got 2 days of practice versus the Giants. We're playing them on Sunday, and both teams are looking forward to getting some good work in.
Does it concern you they've already shown willingness to fight each other in practice coming in here?
No, I'm worrying about the Cleveland Browns.
Hey, Davian Davis's game, is that the biggest argument for continuing to have preseason games to give a guy like him?
Yeah, Tony, I think it's great opportunity for those guys, young players, sophomores, getting a ton of reps, and you can only get so many out here. So to see all those guys get plenty of reps the other night was awesome, and we're looking forward to doing that again with these guys. I mean, they need to play, and then give opportunities for them to show what they can do.
Since Tony already jinxed the weather for this week, I mean, there's no way you could go indoors in here, right? There's not enough room for.
Probably not for. We'd have to think about it. Yeah.
I'm curious what the contingency would even be.
Yeah. Talk to Callie. Is what I would tell you. Yeah.
Is Steven going to need surgery? And what about Ryan Switzer?
Steve Carlson?
Yeah.
Yes, and Ryan Switzer is also undergoing surgery.
Did Ryan's happen after that touchdown?
I'm not entirely sure.
And does Carlson's injury have you rethink a fourth tight end or the plan to compete for a fourth spot?
Yeah, I think all these spots, Tony, when you look up and down the roster, I mean, there's battles for all these spots. So obviously you take a good player like Steve out of the mix, unfortunately. It opens up opportunities for other guys to see if they can go grab that spot.
You use tight ends more than anybody in the league, or at least last year. Do you need 4 tight ends for your offense? Are you comfortable going with 3?
I think we'll see how it all shakes out, and I think it's our job to put the best players on the field and play to the strengths of your team. But ultimately, Andrew and his staff, along with the coaches, will make those determinations down the road.
Kevin, you told us early in camp that everything you run is scripted, and
Mhm.
you know what days you're working on. Have you had any major deviations through camp from anything you need to focus on or see?
We really haven't. No, we've tried to plan this out. We'll make minor alterations here or there if we need to see extra work in a specific area. But all in all, this is kind of how we've planned it.
Assume no tackle to the ground for the Giants?
Correct.